Hello everyone! Thank you for viewing our presentation for the Entrepreneurship Challenge that is about our created business, Soul Caritas. First, a little introduction about all the members who contributed to this presentation, and then we will dive into the business of Soul Caritas.
Hello, my name is Jacob Sudbury and my major is Business Administration.
Hello, my name is Raven Silva and I am majoring in Business Administration.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Ornick Andrews, and I have been a student here at Arizona State University for 2 years. Also, I am pursuing a business degree in global leadership.
Hi, my name is Elise Marr and I am a first-year student at Arizona State University studying business data analytics. I hope to someday be a data analyst for a large company that values contributing to the well-being of society. So, what is Soul Caritas? Well, Soul Caritas is a nonprofit business that travels with business members and volunteers to local, underprivileged communities in Africa, such as the areas of eastern Kenya or Ethiopia. They build simple solar panel power systems that deliver water to the community. Also, Soul Caritas means sun charity in Latin, and since most languages are the derivative of Latin and our business runs on solar energy, the name was born. There is not just one specific community that this business can help, but hundreds of small African communities that can use this system and water to increase longevity of life, crop yield, and everyday health. This business solves the issue of clean water and the lack of a power supply for that water in places all across Africa. Around 319 million people in Africa alone suffer from an unsanitary water supply or an insufficient amount of water for their daily health. This nonprofit business will provide not only easy access to water for those communities, but an easy-to-use system that filters and gives power for the use of the entire area.
Products and services. The service we present before you is one of charity. Our teams would go to communities in need and install infrastructure that would provide reliable power and clean water to residents. This infrastructure would include low-maintenance solar panels. Solar panels would provide a stable source of clean electricity. Water pumps and filtration systems. Water pumps with integrated filtration systems would provide fresh, potable water from ground wells or other local water sources for consumption and agricultural use. Cables and pipelines. Soul Caritas would install all the necessary cables and pipelines to have the infrastructure function properly. Education. Not only would we provide the infrastructure, but we would train residents of communities to do basic upkeep and maintenance. This will reduce company maintenance costs and provide invaluable education at the same time. Soul Caritas's foundational infrastructure. The products and services we offer aren't separate entities that work towards a common goal. They're the foundational framework of a successful, thriving community. Our infrastructure is the groundwork for many other systems to be implemented. Competitors. When it comes to nonprofit charitable businesses, competition is not a bad thing. There are many organizations in Africa with the same general goal as Soul Caritas. Here are some of our major competitors. Compassion International is a large Christian organization whose goal is to release children from poverty in Africa and many other places around the world. They provide a wide variety of services like medical, food, and emergency home repair. Soul Caritas would have similar goals when it comes to providing resources, but would have a wider range of target customers. Water to Thrive is a non-profit organization that installs water wells throughout Africa. They're funded mainly through donors in the United States. Soul Caritas would provide the same service coupled with solar electricity for a more substantial resource basis. Africare states their mission as Africare is a leading non-governmental organization, NGO, committed to addressing African development and policy issues by working in partnership with African people to build sustainable, healthy, and productive communities. Africare may be the organization that most directly competes with Soul Caritas. Though their foundation is mainly based in health and agriculture, while ours is based in technology. What sets Soul Caritas apart? There are many fantastic organizations whose goal it is to better the lives of less fortunate people. In that regard, Sol Caritas is no different. What sets us apart is our goal of creating sustainable infrastructure that will be the basis of a self-sufficient community. Our basis will be the first steps towards proper sanitation, efficient agriculture, advanced education, and other building blocks of a thriving civilization.
Which leads me to our mission statement, which is actually to provide healthy and sustainable living through solar power and education. The product we plan on pushing are going to be thin film amorphous silicone solar panels. They are expensive, but incredibly easy to install and replace. The next product actually isn't much of a product, but it's the solar power maintenance education. Now, the plan to make all of this really work is going to be dispatching our solar technicians to the designated communities for installation, alongside some installers and educators who can help selected local ambassadors work with the solar team. The key to really making it work is that the locals can help ensure the solar panels stay in functioning condition, at least working until their replacement time or their lifespan has completed. So our candidate for this program is going to be Monrovia, Liberia. It was the capital of Liberia and is also ranked as the poorest city in all of Africa. It is a rather industrial area, but it houses many rural communities towards its outskirts. Some of the opportunities and reasons why we picked this community was that it was a war-torn country that had been facing war for years. The majority of the city doesn't receive electricity as the grid has been consistently failing them. Rural areas have very little access to electricity at all, if any. And the majority of the inner city has to rely on fresh water tankers to provide water for their industry, as well as drinkable water for all of its citizens alike. Some of the main exports for this country are going to be latex and iron ore. With all of these factories in the heart of the city, the majority of their power is designated to the factories and very little makes it back to the citizens themselves, making it hard to live a very sustainable and healthy lifestyle.
There are many financial aspects to consider while budgeting estimated expenses. This includes cost of production, materials, installation and labor fees, and of course maintenance, which we actually hope to train volunteers from the communities on how to maintain the solar panels themselves in case we cannot get to them at the time needed. This will also be beneficial to the communities as they will become self-sustainable in the long run. So the question is, how are we going to pay for all these expenses while being a nonprofit organization as well? A few options that come to mind is 1, taking out a $40,000 loan, which is the maximum estimated cost of all the expenses from the slides, but could potentially also make our business go bankrupt. Or 2, we can team up with an organization with similar interests and ambitions, such as the Open Philanthropy Project. This would be better for Sol Caritas, especially while being a nonprofit organization, since we would not have to worry about paying back a loan. For starters, let's look at the costs we will be dealing with. We have the production of the solar panels as well as the resources to consider. According to energyinformative.org, the estimated cost of the resources and production of the solar panels is between $4,000 and $16,000, depending on how large we decide to make the panels. One goal Sol Caritas has is to use recycled materials where we can. A few recycled materials noted on EnergySage.com that we could use includes silicone for the solar cells, recycled conductive metals for framing and wiring, and recycled glass sheets. By using recycled materials, this would cut our material and production costs in half to hopefully between $8,000 to $10,000. Then we have the installation fees, operational fees, and potential maintenance costs if there were no volunteers in the community to help maintain the energy source. Again, according to energyinformative.org, estimated expenses for permits and inspection fees as well as labor would be between $2,000 and $5,000. We also have the operational costs such as maintenance, repairs, and insurance. That would be roughly $4,000 to $8,000. And lastly, we have the estimated cost of mounting and other electronic components, which would be between $3,000 and and $10,000. As mentioned, there would be no way Sol Caritas could pull this off while being a non-profit organization and without going bankrupt. The answer to this problem is to team up with the Open Philanthropy Project. You might be thinking, who is the Open Philanthropy Project and what can they do to help? Well, the Open Philanthropy Project is made up of several related organizations that research potential focus areas that investigate giving opportunities in order to make grants and investments. And they also identify outstanding giving opportunities, they make grants, they follow the results, and they publish the findings. You can find more information on their website at www.openphilanthropy.org. Now, why Sol Caritas? Why should the Open Philanthropy Project invest in our business? Well, because we believe we have similar values, goals, and ambitions. We want to team up with this organization in order to help better lives and help create self-sustainable communities in the process. In conclusion, Sol Caritas' goals are to team up with the Philanthropy Project to give back to communities, share ideas, and be innovative. We want to supply energy and distribute water in communities of Africa, and we want to make a difference in these communities at no cost, as well as achieve self-sustainability for the communities we support. We hope you enjoyed our presentation, and thank you for taking the time to learn more about Sol Caritas. Feel free to check out any of the links provided in this presentation.